This table is horrible.
Smell that drawer.
I just shit on his table.
Because it's a shit table. I mean, I get it now.
Table.
Ready to roll?
I'm ready to roll.
All right, well, everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Terrible Table Podcast. My guest this week is Mr. Jim Reed.
Hello.
You're a local musician. You do local stuff for like restaurants and stuff like that, if my understanding is correct. Like you play music. Is that right?
I do when I have time.
All right, so but your big thing is the trivia.
Trivia is probably what I'm most known for around town.
So what all trivia do you do? Do you do everything? Is it like, I mean, do you like Harry Potter?
So it's called Know It All Trivia. We're
Okay.
going into our 10th year.
Really?
It started out as just something to do once a week at the bar I worked at, and it got popular, so we started kind of branching out. I ended up hiring people to do it for me, so we've got about 10 games a week now, and I've got 5 hosts that go out and do it with me. I do it 3 nights a week, and they do it the rest.
No shit.
But as far as categories go, we try not to be super specific because, like, you mentioned Harry Potter. I don't know anything about Harry Potter
Right.
personally. It's just not something I'm into. So if I were to go play trivia and the whole game was that, I'd be upset. When I can't play now.
Well-
So we try to keep it not so specific on normal nights. We'll do like 2 themed rounds, and then it's always our general knowledge at the 3rd round. And then like we have once a month gigs, like at the breweries around town, places like that, where we'll do a theme and give you a month to prepare for it.
Right.
Like Marvel or
Because that's all I've ever seen advertisements for. Is I've never seen like a general trivia. It's always been very specific.
yeah.
Excuse me. And that's why I said Harry Potter or Marvel, Home Alone,
Yeah.
things like that. Very specific trivia, which I've always said, I dare somebody to do a MASH trivia. I'll fucking smoke anybody on MASH all day. That's what kind of nerd I am,
That's cool, but I'm afraid that we're getting to the age where half of my crowd doesn't know what the fuck that is.
No, I get it. I'm 42, so I understand.
Saying,
Yeah.
I asked a question about Kevin Spacey the other day, and this whole table of like college kids were like, "Who is that?"
No shit.
And I'm like, I was naming off movies, and like, no, and I was like, Ants. And they're like, oh yeah, that guy that did the voice.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's I talk there's I don't think about it with like young adults, because I guess I guess maybe I still look at myself like I am a young adult, like I'm not that far removed from them. Like it wasn't. I was talking to I deal with restaurants, and I was talking to a girl at a restaurant, and I was waiting on the manager to come up, and she was talking about how she just graduated high school, and I started laughing, and I was like, "That's funny," because I graduated in 1999, and she was like, "Oh my God, I wasn't even born until," and I was like, "Oh my God." And you don't think about. I know I don't think about how.
And she's old enough to drink.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, you're right, 100%. Yeah. Where did you go to? Are you local? Or are you born, raised here?
Nope, I was born in Texarkana,
Texarkana, Texas.
yeah, Texas boy, and then moved to Kansas City in my 20s to play music.
Nice.
And after that kind of wore off, I got a little bit older. I wanted to move closer to home, but just far enough to where I'd still have my freedom,
Right.
So an hour away seemed pretty good.
Were you a band in high school or anything like that?
I was a jock in high school.
Were you?
I played football.
Yeah, you're a big guy, man.
Wore
Yeah,
the khakis.
Yeah.
I was dating the cheerleaders.
that's what's up.
Oh, yeah.
What position did you play?
I was a terrible human being. Center and defensive end.
Nice. Did you take that to college or anything, or no, just high school?
I quit midway through my senior year and just played basketball in the gym.
Yeah, I was in band. I got kicked out halfway through my junior year.
Well,
Yeah, they booted all of us in the band. Well, it's not all of us. The pieces of shit like me. Yeah, the bad kids.
yeah, I was not an A-list player.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be cool. That's what I thought cool was.
Did you do like middle school and all that too, or was
yeah.
it just high school?
Since 7th grade.
Did you have any like desire to try to take it any further, or no? Just this is the pastime.
I was a joke, man. I got picked on a lot and stuff. So yeah, that wasn't an aspiration. I was actually really into church back then.
Really
That's how I started playing music, was drumming in the church band when I was
nice.
13. So I was too busy try to spread the word to worry about anything like that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I got when I first started to learn play the drums. I used to deliver water to First Baptist Church up here, and I got caught one day playing the set because we took the water like right around the corner from the music room, and I'd been walking past this set for months, you know, and I'd been, you know, learning, and then finally one day I was like, because I always had this dream of learning to play the piano and being able to walk through like people do now. You see it all the time on YouTube, but I used to be a telephone technician way back when, and that was there was always pianos in the lobbies of the hotels that I was working on, and I worked on a lot of hotel motels, and I always had this dream that I was going to learn how to play the piano, set my tool bag down one day, and just sit down and just na 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 na, you know, and obviously never happened, but I kept like I was going to do it with that drum set, and I sat down and started playing the drums, and obviously drums are loud as hell, and somebody,
Especially in a church auditorium.
yeah, well, I wasn't in an auditorium, it was in their band room, so I was upstairs, but even still, there's nobody doing anything, and then you hear boom, clack, you know, this very basic drum beat or whatever, and I got busted, and the guy was like, "You want to come play the drums for us?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm good." So I like smoking pot whenever I start playing the drum. You know, give me a joint while I'm playing is the way I used to look at it.
Well, I had the similar dream of you know, watching a band live and our drummer hurt his arm.
Yeah.
Who knows our music?
Hell yeah.
Here I come.
If you're into music and everything, when the drummer for Foo Fighters died, did you see his son came up and played "There Goes My Hero" or whatever?
Which is not an easy song to play.
Did a fantastic job.
And keep time like
Yeah. Yeah, because that one's got a lot of, and I am not that good. I couldn't play that.
I could make you think I know how to play.
I couldn't.
I can play on the guitar, and I can half-ass it on.
I would do a new beat to that song. Is what I would have to do. It would just be a whole new drum beat. You know.
I didn't say that wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah, no, that's just. I mean, I played for a few years. I wasn't anything. I mean, I played with who I was playing with. You know, I didn't try to like. I mean, there were some songs that I tried to play the song, but for the most part, we were doing like just jams in a jam room. Yeah. Obviously, if we covered a song, I tried to play it like it was supposed to be, but I wasn't that good.
I took it pretty far. So when I lived in Kansas City in my 20s, played a band called Salt the Earth, and we toured pretty extensively.
Really?
All over the place. Yeah.
That's cool. All over the U.S. or did y'all go? You know,
never went out anywhere else, but yeah.
Still professional musician. I guess technically, and my wife laughs at me when we talk sometimes because she was like, you know, you've got a very impressive resume, but you're a piece of shit because, you know, I've been paid to play music, so I'm a professional musician, a professional stand-up comic, all these other, like I've done, I'm an electrician, I'm a, you know, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, but you're such a piece of shit. Like, that's not even funny. Like, you know, all of this shit, but you can't, you know, capitalize on any of it. What's wrong with you? I love my wife. She's so sweet to me. So are you married or anything?
Divorced.
Any kids?
No kids.
No kids?
No kids.
So just here in Shreveport doing trivia.
Yep. Doing trivia, making food, and so the last band I was in, we split up in 2020, right after COVID hit, because our guitar player passed away.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
In his sleep, just out of nowhere.
Wow.
So we thought, well, all right, we'll get somebody that is close to us to fill in his shoes, you know, and keep going. But then, you know, like I said, COVID hit, and then our rhythm section, like. Their brothers, and their mom got cancer, their dad got MS, so they were locked into that. And one of them was about to have a kid, so we kind of let that go. May still have them one day, but I don't know. But the band I was in before, called the Devil Ants, we haven't played in 6 years, and we are going to be playing Bear Fest this year.
What fest?
Bears Fest.
Bears, like the bar is doing a fest?
Every year, yeah.
Really?
We did the first one when I worked there in 2013. We've done it ever since.
Really?
It's an all-day thing. May 13th, we're going at 5 o'clock. But, yeah, lots of great bands all day long.
It's this May 13th?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
I have to put a link to it. I have to find it, put a link to it. I never knew they did that.
Oh yeah, man.
That's where I did my first ever time I got on stage for comedy was at Bears.
with Molly.
Yeah, with Molly. You know Molly,
Oh,
obviously.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I hadn't talked to her in a long time.
She's doing great.
Yeah, she came on the old show that we had. It was called My Podcast, His Man Cave.
Oh,
She
nice.
came on a couple episodes. I think she came on one. I cooked maybe salmon for her or something. I cooked something for her, and she came on. I think she did one of those episodes. Yeah, I've been trying to figure out what it is that this channel is going to be for a long time.
I just see like, just knowing Molly, I just see like you putting salmon out, and she's like looking real weird, creeping up to it.
No, that was what it was for. Like the idea behind that show in particular was I was going to have a guest, and then like I had just gotten this smoker, and I was smoking everything. Like we were smoking bacon and cobblers and eggs and you name it, salmon, chicken, turkey, blah blah blah.
Wasn't Zuckerberg doing that for a while?
Was he?
Just smoking meats.
Yeah.
That's what he would always talk about. I like smoking meats.
So that's just what his program was programmed to say. But no, that was like the idea behind the show is like I would have a guest and I would do as much research on that guest as I could and try to figure out what could I cook for them that they might like, and then surprise them with it when they got here.
nice.
I did 2 or 3 episodes, and that was it. Like I did one with my dad, one with Molly. I think I did one other one, and it was a cobbler, and it didn't cook right. And the guy that came over had to leave, so I never aired it. I don't even know if I still have it. It may have been like a computer that crashed, but yeah, that one didn't go very far. We used to do Rate the Crates, where we got the candies and stuff from other countries.
Oh, I like that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so we would do that and get the candies and eat the candies and try them, but we kind of stopped doing that. Nobody was interested. We did 2 Guys 2 Hoots, where it was me and a buddy of mine. We would start sober and smoke 2 joints and laugh all the way through, and nobody watched it, and then there was this rendition of it. I've got all this stuff, so I'm trying to do something with it. So yeah, that's it. That's how many variations of this show that there's been. That Molly was on 2 different versions of this show. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
I understand.
yeah.
I
So
bet-
and Big Red too, my buddy over at Frank's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I used to work there.
Yeah, he's the one that got us connected together.
He is. He's good people.
Oh, you worked there?
yeah.
I didn't realize you worked at
5
Frank's.
years. Yeah.
Did you work when they first opened?
I quit. I've been at Great Ref for a year now, so I quit about a year ago.
Okay. So when it comes to trivia, how do you figure out what your do you just use like I can't think of the name of the trivia game that everybody plays, Trivial Pursuit type questions? Do y'all make your own? Do you have
Well, it's one of those things that you figure out as you go along.
right?
That the reason why I say that is people always ask me, well, is your trivia hard? And it's like, well, I don't know what you know. I don't know what I know, and it could be everyday knowledge to you, so
Right.
I've never heard of. So I don't know if my trivia is hard. So we try to do a formula where out of the 10 questions, about 7 of them are pretty easy. A couple of them are a little tougher, and then there's one that, because one of your people do it, Slumdog Millionaire, because one of your teammates happen to know that's going to make you win the round.
Gotcha.
And if anything else, everybody gets that one wrong, and nobody's mad anyway.
And how many questions is it to get to the end of it to win or lose? How does that work?
33 questions.
33 total.
So we do 3 rounds, and they're 10 questions. And after you finish the first round, you wager 1, 2, or 3 points. That'll make everyone worth a point each, 2 points each, 3 points each. But I give you the rounds or the categories ahead of time, so you'll be able to decipher once you get, well, we did great on this one, so make this our 3 point, But you can only get 1, 3, 1, 2, and 1, 1.
Gotcha.
And then after that, we have a bonus round that's 3 questions, and they're tougher. Like, I tend to lean toward hard Jeopardy questions to get those. I don't know if I want to leak that information actually, but
I mean, look, man, to me, most Jeopardy questions are hard. So even the celebrity Jeopardy questions, I'm an idiot. So
and those are 5, 10, and 15 points.
okay.
But the deal is with that, you don't have to answer those. If you get it wrong, you lose those points.
But you don't
So
have to
can-
answer and you don't
can
lose
stay.
anything. Okay.
Yeah. And the trick I found with writing bonus questions is to do something that even if you don't know the answer, there's guesses you can have. Like, I'm not going to ask you what year somebody was born because if you get one off,
Right.
I got to count you wrong for that. But I could say, which U.S. president was nicknamed this, and at least presidents. You can kind of think,
Yeah.
well, who would be?
Who would have been Tricky Dick?
Yeah. Or like what country owns what island? You can think about it, and, something like that, to where it's not just a direct answer.
Are you a monster when it comes to doing trivia?
I'm the worst
Oh, really?
trivia player.
No shit. And you host it.
Everybody wants me on their team. When I get to play every now and then with my schedule, every so often I get to go to Bears and play. But no, the problem is that 9 times out of 10 they'll ask a question and I'll go, I've asked that question before and I can't remember the answer because it's just one of hundreds of questions I write every week that
it's
go in one ear and then some you remember just because they're fun facts. Nah, I don't remember.
Wow. Yeah, no, you would think it would be the other way, but I'm sitting here thinking about it now. I used to be real good with phone numbers, and now I dial so many phone numbers that I don't remember anybody's phone number. Like there's like a handful of people that I know their phone number. They're important, like my wife and my mother and my dad,
Plus,
and my mother-in-law.
Not to mention I have a stoner memory, so.
What? Yeah, man.
I can remember my first grade girlfriend, but I can't remember like yesterday.
Yeah, that's funny. What did I have for breakfast? So now, where do y'all do you have set spots for the trivia that you want to, is it?
We do. We do. I'm not going to remember them all because a lot of them, man, I've never even been to.
Really? So you've got your guys just take care of it like that.
Yeah, and I always say no news is good news.
Yeah, is it all local Shreveport or is it Texarkana, Bossier, Minden?
I'm glad you said that. It started out in Texarkana with, coincidentally enough, Darren that passed away. He started Know It All Trivia in Texarkana at a bar called Fat Jack's, and
shout out Fat Jack's.
Shout out Fat Jack's, and this guy Charles Smith, he was a Texarkana guy, but he lived here and he worked at the Sandbar, and he had heard about it, and he was like, Darren, if you wanted to come to Shreveport one night a week, we'll pay your gas and get a game started over here. So he called me and he was like, do you want to co-host this thing with me? And I was like, yeah, dude, I could use an extra couple bucks a week, But Darren's health started declining a little bit, so he couldn't make it a lot. So it would just be me every week. And I was already doing trivia at Bears, so I just made it into one thing, and then we'd start growing. A girl I was dating at the time, Margaret, she worked at Rotolo's, so that was the second or the third place we went. And then we started...
Shreveport or Bossier? Because that long ago, they were both open, huh?
Well, Shreveport, and then Bossier for a little while until they shut down.
Yeah.
But,
now, does somebody win? Do you win something?
Yeah, that's one of the stipulations we have when we start a contract with somebody is that we'll come up with everything except prizes. So you choose 9 times out of 10 it's a gift card, or if it's a bar,
or
it's
a bar
usually
tab.
Yeah. Some do round winners, like the bars tend to do the round winners, where if your team wins a round, you get a round of shots. Like
Okay.
the bar. Stuff like that.
How many people on the team?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
And I used
max, no minimum.
I used to have a limit, but the more I noticed, all that really did was create problems because, number one, a family of 10 people comes in to play. I have to split them up.
And they're going to help each other out anyway.
And they don't get to eat together. It's like, that's silly. And I also noticed that the more people that you have on your team, the less likely you are to win. Because there's 100 different opinions flying around.
Oh.
And everybody wants to be right.
That's like this, the escape rooms. They say the less people you have, the better.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's the people that win every week are the 4 people that all know something. You got a movie guy, you got a music guy, you got a history guy, you got a science guy.
Yeah, no, I'm just the MASH guy. That's it.
And they
food delivery guy. I can answer all those questions.
yeah, pop culture and music are my 2 I could do those.
Man, I'm so bad with names. Like I'm so bad with names. I can't remember band names, song names.
Oh, I'm good.
You
Yeah,
know.
I'm good at that.
I'm not.
I can't remember half
I'm
my
not.
I can't remember half my friends' names.
That's funny.
but
Did you find the list of where they are?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I didn't know if you had
I don't
found.
know
I was trying to keep it going while you were looking.
I don't know what made me forget that.
It's late. You've been working all day, and I asked you to come do this silly podcast at 10 o'clock at night.
I'm having fun though, for sure.
So, I can't believe you're not a monster at fucking trivia. That just
man.
blows my mind. I figured you'd be like, oh yeah, man. I know how many. You know how many ridges there are on a dime?
110.
That's right. You're right. You're right. Actually, what about dimples on a golf ball?
Oh, I've asked this question before. I know I have. I say that half my vocabulary is saying I've asked that question before.
Yeah, mine is. I've delivered water there.
88,
I think it's 336.
336. I know when your numbers. How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
I just remember a 1, a 2, and a 3. That's all I remember. So I don't know.
364.
No shit.
364.
Somebody did it.
A college did it.
No shit.
Yeah.
I guess that's an average over. Is that an average, or was everybody 364? And
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think that was probably an average.
that makes me want to change the slogan to live life 364 because that's
364.
so much better. Tootsie Pops. You remember that? You remember those commercials as a kid with that
Oh,
owl,
yeah.
man? That was an iconic commercial.
Oh yeah, man. A buddy of mine dressed up as him for Halloween a few years back.
As the owl?
Fantastic.
Oh, no
He had a
shit.
big ass Tootsie Pop. It looked like a hobo staff.
Oh, that's lovely, man. I love it.
I got that scheduled.
All right, where is it?
So Sunday we're at Rotolo's at 7:30.
Okay.
Monday we're at Twisted Root at 7, and What's on Tap 2 at 8. That's in Bossier.
Yeah.
Tuesday we're at Dax in Shreveport at 7. Line Avenue Pine Brew at 7, and that's the one I do. The Elks Lodge at 6:30, and Red River Brew Pub at 7.
Nice.
So we're full on that night.
Nice.
Wednesdays we're at Dax and Bossier, and then back at Bears at 8:30, and then Thursday that's it. Thursday at Bears at 8:30, and then Thursday we're at Rotolo's at 7:30. So Wednesday Dax Bossier, Bears 8:30.
Nothing really on. Y'all don't do anything on the weekends.
Nah, we do special events.
That's what I was about
We
to
do
ask
a lot
you.
of corporate stuff.
Yeah. Can somebody hire you for a birthday party,
Absolutely.
corporate event? How do they find you to do that?
On Facebook, Know It All Trivia,
Know It All Trivia.
TXK, or just come see me at a game.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we do that all the time.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
I bet they are. I bet corporate things are real fun.
I did a Christmas party in a mansion once.
Yeah?
It was awkward, but the booze was great.
Oh man, it's awkward.
It was awkward.
It was weird
I
being
mean,
in
they're
there.
like, we want Christmas movie trivia, and I made it as easy as I could. They're like, we don't know this.
That's your problem.
You don't know who
Read-
started It's a Wonderful Life? What am I here for?
Oh man, I do know the guy's name, but I can't think of it. And that's the problem with trivia is
I do this.
I know that it's I mean, Clarence, and that's why I tell you I'm bad with names. Clarence, I want to live. I'm sorry, Clarence. My dad used to love that movie, and I can't think of the guy's name.
Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart. That's right. It was on the tip of my tongue.
Well,
I'm sure that's the most common thing said at one of your damn things.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I like I said, I'm a huge fan of MASH, and my wife has asked me trivia questions with MASH, and I can rattle them off. I've been watching MASH, so I've been married for 14 years. I've watched MASH every night before I go to bed for 20 years.
Really?
If not more, but if you include the Saturday, Sunday, I used to get to watch MASH on Saturdays. It came on ABC after the news at 10:30, and on Sunday it came on after the news at 10:30 and 11.
That's a good show, man.
I love
That's
it.
a good show.
I love MASH.
So-
It's funny. It's life lessons.
I'm sure you know that it's the finale was the most watched event in television history.
Yeah, non-sports event in television history. Still to this day, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, it
As far
is
as I know,
one of the
sir.
dumbest things you'll ever watch. Too, like that when you watch that episode over and over and again, you just realize how just it's quite ridiculous. And it's I've read books about MASH and stuff like that, and a lot of critics say that around season 4.5, 5, the end of season 4, beginning of season 5, is when you start seeing Alan Alda take over the direction and the directing and the writing of a lot of episodes. If you start watching it, you'll see his name in the the director and the writer and producer credits a lot more after season 5. And they say that he just got real political and blah blah blah. Because the first seasons they were hilarious, and you watch them now, they couldn't make that some of those first season that they couldn't make that today. I mean, for crying out loud, they had a character whose name I'll have to edit out was.
You're right.
You know what I mean? They had Moose. In the first season, Hawkeye buys a girl off of another guy. You know what I mean? It's totally innocent, but I mean, all the antics that they play on like with the nurses and all the shit. There's no way people would let that shit fly today.
Oh, no.
People get so up in arms about them. I'm surprised there's not a disclaimer when I hit play on it, like there is on Disney. When you watch like an old Disney movie or a Disney cartoon.
I'm not aware.
Yeah, there's a disclaimer that'll kick up and be like, hey, this shit was made a long time ago when views were different. You might want to, be careful for the trigger warnings in this, because there's going to be, depictions of black people that are, in a certain light.
Okay, you're talking about like Song of the South Disney, like
Yeah, like old Disney stuff. Yeah.
I was like, what? I was trying to figure out what you meant. Okay, now
I want to say even like the original, like the first Aladdin has a disclaimer about it.
Oh, they were mad about the merchant, so the guy that sold the lamp.
Yeah.
And he was like a stereotype.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's like when they took Speedy Gonzalez off of Looney Tunes.
I guess I was too old to realize they took him
It hasn't
off.
been long.
It's recent.
They retired, and like Mexican people were like, he's the only one we have.
Yeah,
They took him away.
fucking
Like,
man, these
now we don't even have one.
whining
It's like,
ass motherfuckers taking shit away. Yeah, Aunt Jemima can't be a syrup no more.
well, it's a classic example of taking a good idea, a good movement, and just making a joke out of it.
Well, what else, man? So you don't play. So Jeremy, I thought Jeremy said that you were one of his music guys. Like you come in, like there's Aiden Fitz that used to live here. He would come in and play the trumpet for an hour or whatever. Blah blah blah. Do you not? I thought you were, one of those guys that would come into a bar and sit down with like an acoustic.
Yeah,
and
That's
play
what I
for
did.
40. That's what you do.
well, when I can,
Yeah.
this new job, I'm not as free anymore as
Yeah.
I used to be. But yeah, I played in Texarkana a couple weeks ago at a place called the Wild Hair Saloon, and
Shout out Wild Hair.
yeah, for sure.
We need sponsors. Wild Hair.
Yeah, I really, definitely on that place. And what it is I don't know when the last time you were in Texarkana, but they are totally revamping their downtown area. That was always just vacant buildings and like Ben's fashion houses and things.
Right.
But since then, they've remodeled everything, opened a bunch of bars and clubs and restaurants, and you can walk outside with your beer and go bar hopping.
Nice.
It's real cool. So I want to definitely as much support to throw to that as possible. They need a more of a.
Yeah, that open bar concept where you can like move around the street seems to be successful.
They're big enough.
Yeah.
They need that.
If you, especially if you have the people, like our little thing from outside of the casinos seemed to fail. That
Yeah.
I don't remember what they called it back then. Anyway, that thing underneath the Texas Street Bridge, where you used to be able to open container from the casino to all of those places. Blah blah blah. There's nothing down there now.
It just sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's nothing.
Just going downtown right there.
Oh, yeah,
You
here?
had me you lost
yeah,
me at that.
yeah, I get it.
I just don't go down, and it's nothing against any of those businesses or bars, but that's just, yeah, I don't go downtown. I don't have to find a place to park. I don't want to walk all the way to the bar and then walk back drunk. I just don't want any part of it.
Yeah, I can't say as if I blame you. I've never really.
We're gonna edit out that part where I said walking back drunk.
Well, at least you weren't driving.
You're right.
Yeah. No, I wasn't really a downtown nightlife guy. I mean, I went out, because everybody else was, I worked at Deja Vu at one point in time, a long time ago, back in the early 2000s. I was mail review on Sundays.
Okay, come on.
No, I was obviously security,
Uh-huh.
security and garbage man.
I couldn't tell you last time I was at a strip club. It's just not. It's not for me.
Yeah,
That's
me
not
neither.
not my thing.
I got actually I know when the last time was. It was I don't know the specific date, but it was a friend of mine's birthday, and we went. They wanted to go and I was like, yeah, I'll go, but I'm a very casual, like, big guy, so like they got mad at me because I went and bought a new V-neck Under Armour T-shirt, and I went and bought brand new Adidas slides, and called the club and was like, "Hey man, can I wear open-toed shoes? Like, can I wear sandals in there?" And they were like, "Yeah, fuck it." And they were all dressed up, like, nice shoes, ties, or whatever, blah blah blah. And I was like, "Yeah, that's not me. I'm not doing that." You wore fucking flip-flops to my birthday? I'm like, "Yeah, motherfucker. At least I'm here."
I'm gonna come in sweatpants.
Yeah, but it's a strip club. You're damn right? But no, we went in, and this was like, I worked at Deja Vu in like 01, 02, 03, maybe even into 04. Like, it was off and on that I worked for them. And when we went in there, this was probably 2015, 2016 that we went in for my buddy's birthday. Nothing had changed. Only thing that had changed were the girls' names.
The girls?
That's it.
Yeah.
And actually, just the girls. The names are probably still the same.
Probably
Welcome to the
same.
stage, Vixen, Diamond, Strawberry. Alexis, Lexi.
Yeah, shit.
Oh man, one of the best things was watching these guys that would come in and just fall for it. Fall for the trap. And
I promise she loves me.
dude, I can't tell you how many times I've had to tell somebody, "Hey, it's time to go. Like, we've turned the lights on, we're mopping and sweeping, we're getting, you got to go." "Well, I'm waiting on Vixen," and it's like, she left like 45 minutes ago with her husband.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? "Oh, she said she loved me," and how much money did you give her? "I don't know, $700. That's why she loved you. You kept dropping 20s.
I'm sure she does love you. I'd love you if you give me that.
Yeah. I'll tell you I suck your dick and then leave with my wife. Give me $700. Hell, I watched one guy.
Well, I might not leave.
I watched one guy. He came in. He was bragging about winning money at the casino. He had won like $25,000 or something at the casino, and he comes over with a pocket full of cash. And I get a call from the overhead, like surveillance security. "Get your ass up to the private booth, whatever, and like stop them, whatever they're doing." So I run in there, and one of the girls. There's two girls up there with this guy. And this guy is sitting in one of the chairs up like this. And the girls are drawing their knees up to their chest and kicking this man in the face with fucking 4-inch stiletto heels on. Kicking him in the face. As I walk in, a little stripper named Peaches kicks this guy in the face to the point where he like spits blood in the air. And I'm like, "What the fuck are y'all doing?" And the guy's like, "Oh man,
Do you mind?
the guy's like, "Oh man, get out of here." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" So we end up having to get him out of there, like, because it's a thing now. Now it's like, it's a liability issue
Getting
on
blood
our
everywhere, yeah.
So we got to get him out of there, get everything cleaned up. And one of the guys, like, one of the theories that we came up with is that the dude got drunk, won a bunch of money at the casino, and called his wife, because he had a wedding ring, called his wife and told her that he won 25 grand at the casino. But as he was getting to his car and leaving, he realized there's a titty bar right there. And he likes to get his jollies off by getting kicked in the face and shit. So what he did was told his wife that he got robbed of that $25,000 and went and, did his little side hustle, whatever his little freak shit was. And I got it. That was my, always my little story as to what it was. Because, I don't know what possessed that man to come in
Damn,
and get kicked in the face.
I hope his wife is not listening to this.
I'm sure she's not my sister or my brother-in-law, so there's only two people that listen. So that's
Shout out.
a running joke. Yeah, shout out Mary and Raphael.
Shout out to the fam.
Yeah, no, I talk shit. They're the only two that ever listen. So, but that's my peeps. They're very loyal, just like all the other 35 subscribers that I got. They're my fans.
Yeah, anytime I play a show at Texarkana, there's always 3 or 4 that are always there.
Yeah,
So that makes it worth it.
that's what's up. Hell
Shout
yeah.
out Kenny Hunt.
What's up, Kenny? Hell yeah. Well, anything else? Like any other trivia, any other things that you do that we can promote and talk about?
Not really, man. I'm really excited about doing the band thing again. It's been a while since we got together and had practice the other night. We're ready.
Hell yeah.
So,
What is it? All covers or is it originals?
all
or-
originals.
And you are doing the
I play guitar and sing backup vocals.
nice. You said all originals.
Oh yeah.
Do y'all have a do they have a YouTube channel? Are y'all going to record any of it?
We have I don't know if they're going to record it or not. We have a record floating around. If I can find a copy, I'll get it to you.
Hell yeah, I'd like to listen to it. What style of music is it?
It's kind of southern rock with a little punk rock mixed in with it.
Okay.
They call it cowpunk. I guess.
Okay.
Drive-by truckers, Lucero.
Okay. All right.
That kind of
Yeah.
deal. Yeah, so it's a good time.
That'll be fun. And that's the one you said May 13th is that the Bears Fest.
Bears Fest.
Well, brother, I really appreciate it, Jim.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is there anything else you want to say? Anything you want to push? Anything you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Oh, man. Be nice to people and support local.
That's right. Support local. I
all I
love
got.
that. Does your hat? I meant to ask you. Does your hat mean anything?
Mama Tried.
Yeah.
It's the old country song.
Okay. I didn't know that. Who sang it? Any idea?
Was it, oh, man, you caught me up.
Oh, trivia questions.
Waylon Jennings.
Waylon Jennings. Mama Tried.
Merle Haggard.
Man, those are old school country names.
You're gonna edit this part out.
I absolutely
Because
will.
I will lose my music license.
Yeah, I'll edit all this out. I'll even ask you again once you get the name. You can
No, I
even,
was right, Merle Haggard.
Merle Haggard. You knew what you were talking
I
about.
know. For some reason, when you get put on the spot, you're
Yeah.
like,
No, you
I'm
forget
gonna say something
things. Jimmy
stupid.
Stewart. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna say something stupid.
I could have said Rod Stewart and been a total fool. I don't know what was his name. Jimmy Rogers, Jimmy Neutron. All right, man. Well, I've really enjoyed sitting down talking with you. Hopefully, it was nothing too crazy, not too stupid.
No, man. No, let's do it again sometime.
Absolutely, you're welcome anytime. Anybody that you want to tell them about it. I'll bring them on.
For sure.
Anybody's welcome here. I'd love to meet and greet and talk to anybody.
Excellent.
Like I said, I'm still trying to find out, and make this thing grow and just figure out what it's going to be.
Right on.
So, because I'm going to keep doing it. This ain't for anything other than me.
Yeah, that's
You know
why I
what
do
I mean?
music. I
Yeah.
always do music.
So, but like and subscribe. Thank you guys if you stuck out this far. Thank you guys. Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. If you want to come on, hit me up at his man cave productions at gmail.com. There'll be a link in the description. I'll link some of the things we talked about, the shows, the Bears Fest, and your page for your trivia.
Excellent.
So that way, if anybody has a birthday party or a corporate event that they want to hit him up, man. Show him some love.
Let's do it.
Thanks again, guys. Y'all have a great one. Appreciate it, brother.